What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It is July 28th, and yesterday the Giants went against the Diamondbacks in the third game of this three-game series, and as you can hear from my voice, I'm sure the Giants ended up losing. They have been swept by the Diamondbacks and swept by the Dodgers, and now that is 7 losses in a row, and we're going against the Cubs, and let me tell you, there was word, I'm not sure if it was true or not, but apparently what went around the Diamondbacks clubhouse and all that and dugout is that the manager for the Giants, Gabe Kapler, had gone ahead and said after they got swept by the Dodgers that they were going to get right and go ahead and win the games in Arizona, at least 2 or 3. And, you know, as a team, if you hear that, I wouldn't say it would be a big motivation, but apparently the Diamondbacks took that as we will go ahead and beat the heck out of them, and that's what the Diamondbacks did to us. They went ahead and beat the heck out of us, and now we are 2 games below 500 after being 5 games above 500 going into the All-Star break, so not a good look at all. We are finally going home, going against the Cubs, and hopefully we can win some of these games. I know on Saturday is the Will Clark retirement party or ceremony or whatever you want to call it. And if the Giants are to lose that game, I'm like so done. I mean, I believe this is a 3-game series and they have Sunday off. And so they better win at least 2 of 3 of these, because if they do not, I'm going to be really mad. It really does suck. Now they are 3.5 games, so 3.5 games behind the wild card spot now. So that is not something you want to see at all. And the Giants are finding themselves further and further back and looking like a really bad team. And to be honest, and I hope that they do go to the playoffs, but if they don't go to the playoffs, I'm not going to be super bummed, because I'm just kind of done with this season. They're not a good team. The managing is obviously not doing very well, and the defense for the Giants has just been falling apart. They have, I think I heard 63 or 64 errors this season. So that's, I mean, not something that you want to see at all. And more than half of their games that they have played, they've had about an error is what that would round up to. I know there's some games where they'll have like 3 or 4 errors, and the other games will have like no errors. But you know, the amount of errors there are would round up to about half, a little more than half of what the Giants have played with their game. So with that being said, it's not good that you want to see this. Logan Webb, I was really hoping he would be the stopper for us, and he did decent. He pitched 6.2 innings and allowed 4 runs, and actually he had 5 runs after giving up a single to, or having a runner on first or whatever. Or, I'm so sorry, you know what, that's not what ended up happening. He just gave up on an error. There was a Brandon Belt error. It was to first base. It was a squeeze bunt, sacrifice bunt, should have, but then the runner was just too fast. And what he ended up doing is that he ended up going ahead and scoring 2 runs because Belt had overthrew the catcher. He knew he didn't have a chance at first base, so he tried going for the catcher. That would have been 1 run, but he ended up giving up 2 runs because he overthrew the catcher, Austin Wynns, and another run came in. And then the Austin Wynns was able to throw over to second base to get the person that just did the squeeze bunt out at second. So that obviously was a good thing, because then Sam Long came in relief right after that for Logan Webb and gave up a solo home run. You know, Sam Long, he had that really good save that ended up happening. I believe it was against the Dodgers with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and he struck out the batter, and that was something that was really big that ended up happening. And the Giants, and including me, were like, maybe this is the start of something really good for Sam Long. Since then, he has just given up home runs, giving up a lot of runs, and just not doing good at all. It was 2-2, turned into 4-2 on the air, and then he gave up the solo shot that made it 5-2. The Giants ended up scoring by a Brandon Belt single after Austin Slater had gotten a double to get to second. Brandon Belt, who still, I do not forgive him. He did get a run home, a RBI on a RBI single, making it 5-3. But, you know, that still does not excuse the error that he had made. So, with that being said, I'm going to give out my player of the game. My overall player of the game is going to go to Jose Herrera, who had that squeeze bunt that went ahead and scored 2 off of that error. But even if there was no error, he still would have gotten an RBI. And he was a big reason why the Giants went ahead and lost this game too. The momentum shifted way to the Diamondbacks dugout again after that had happened. And that's not something you want to see. And the Diamondbacks used that momentum to finish off this game and finish off this series. And then my Giants player of the game, I'm going to give it to Thairo Estrada. He went 3 for 4. He had an RBI after having 2 outs and I believe 2 strikes. With the runner at first and third, he ended up hitting a bloop single that made it a 1-1 game and tied up the game. And then he was at first, and then Luis Gonzalez made it to third, and then Thairo Estrada had gone ahead in that same inning with the next batter with 2 outs named Mike Yastrzemski. He had stole second base, but he had made it because of an error. The second baseman looked like he had just dropped the ball, and when he dropped it, it kind of got away from him, and that allowed Luis Gonzalez from third to score home. So another big reason why Thairo Estrada went ahead and created that little double move and double steal almost, and went ahead and kind of threw off the catcher and all that, because the catcher had to worry about if that had happened with the runner at third base, and it did end up happening, and the third base runner made it home. So with that being said, just really down right now. If the Giants end up losing again today, I'm just going to be so mad. It's going to be their biggest and longest losing streak of the season, and against the Cubs is not something you want to see. I'm not saying that the Cubs are a bad team. I mean, they are below 500 by I think 7. There's 7, or they might be 9 games below 500, because I know that they are 7 games below the Giants. So I mean, maybe the Giants can do something good. Hopefully. We have Alex Wood on the mound today, but I'm not depending on the Giants going ahead, and I'm not going to hold my breath of the Giants going ahead and winning this game. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. Go Giants, and I will see you guys tomorrow.